come to see us when you ready to make that content. Let's go. COC, yeah, and the mastermind click. Got the vibes.
Central Ohio creators, we are back with another episode. Today we have a special guest in the building. We have Miss Qamil here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for being here. I'm a fan of your music.
Thank you.
So, the first question I have for you is, when it comes to your EP, Comfort Food, it's such a vivid metaphor. How did the idea of construction of project as appetizers and dinner come together?
So Comfort Food was originally going to be just like an EP. I was going to do a few songs, and then the concept kind of developed. I didn't have a title. I had been writing and recording over maybe 2, 3, 4 year period, just as I felt like it, because it was just life was going through a lot. Had a baby, lost both my grandparents, and then one day I was nursing my youngest son. He's 3 now, and I had a thought man, I'm comfort food to a person. Like my body is making nourishment for a person. Then I thought about how throughout my career I have fed people. I'm always cooking. I would have events where I would cook dinner and people would get the dinner with the show. I would have artists in my house frying chicken just for the entire time I've been here. And I just, feeding people has always been a love language for me and to me. So I was like, that's the title. Still took me a while to actually get to the point where I decided to break it up into 3 sections. But I was like, I just really want to take my time like a good meal. So we're going to do a few songs. That'll be appetizer. When I'm ready, we'll have some dinner. And then we did that for my birthday in November. And then next month, we'll wrap it on up with some dessert.
Nice. Did you always want to do music?
No. When I was little, I wanted to play the saxophone and own a restaurant and be a doctor. But I grew up in a musical family, so I was in the youth choir. And as soon as my family figured out I could sing, they had put a microphone in my hand. But writing is my first love. When I was 4th grade, I was writing short stories and stapling the books with construction paper. And by 6th grade, my teacher was letting me write plays and have my classmates act them out in class. They was real hood too. I can't believe she let me do that. So writing first. By the time I got to college, when I was in high school, I was writing short stories like soap opera style. I wanted to write for Young and the Restless.
Oh, nice.
And reading them to my friends in class. And then by college, I really got into songwriting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who were some of the singers growing up that inspired you?
Young me was heavily influenced by Faith Evans. I listened to her a lot. 112. I grew up with flatfoot singers like Kelly Price and Mickey Howard. And then of course there was, early 2000, class of 2000. Maya was out, and Destiny's Child came out when I was 16. So it was just a lot everywhere. My daddy was listening to Luther. My mom was listening to John P. Key. So it was a lot of different influences for me.
Nice. So you can tell in your music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And when it comes to your songwriting process, what's that like?
It happens a couple ways. Sometimes it is hopping out of my sleep because I dreamed of a melody or some lyrics or something. I'll hop up, write it down, or do a voice note to myself so I don't forget the melody. Sometimes it's a producer just sending me tracks, and I'll turn something on. If I get a little tingle or a word or two, it'll be a song in an hour or so. And so there's really not one way. Sometimes I'm out for a walk. Okay. Yeah, it just depends on the vibe, on the mood I'm in.
Do you produce your own music?
I have. So I started learning Fruity Loops when I was in college. So there's a lost project out there, guys, of beats that I've made on a old PC that no one may ever hear. Right now I'm not producing tracks, but I think I'm going to learn piano because I want to expand my writing. But I've had some tracks that are a cappella, so I do the vocal production, so it'll be me singing all the parts, to make it into a whole track.
Thank you. You're welcome. Who are some of the producers that you work with?
Let's see. On Comfort Food, we'll just go there. Michael Glaze, he is a longtime friend. He's a songwriter. He produced a few tracks. Malcolm Marshall, he produced one of the first singles on the project. And my friend David Huggy Bear Prescott Johnson, in case you're watching, I said it right. He's in Cincinnati. He did a few tracks on there as well.
Oh, nice. Now, having a husband that's like known in the
Oh my gosh, Jay Carey also produced over album. Sorry.
that's known in like the Columbus hip hop scene.
Uh-huh.
I know, like being two creatives, that has to be like interesting as well.
It is. I always wonder what our kids are what their story's going to be when they get older and growing up in the house with us. Because like sometimes one day I came home and he was like producing a track and there's a big ass speaker in the kitchen and I'm just like, oh hey, and like it's the most normal thing in the world. But I mean, we met through art. We were on the same bill for something, and that's where we first met in person. We also were born the same day, 6 hours apart. So not only are we both artists, we are both Sagittarius, born the same day. It was just lightning, I suppose. But it's interesting because he is so well respected and he has established himself, and he was out here long before I started. So when I go places with him and it's about him, it's about him. And when he comes to my things, it's about me. And sometimes we perform together. That's also really cool. So it's dope. I'm not saying I recommend like being with the artist if you're an artist, but I'm also not saying don't do it. Like, maybe it depends.
How does each of the albums like reflect the evolution like throughout?
I have a lot of music. So if you go back to the first video I ever did, was for a song called Dreamcatcher. That was the beginning. We were in the park. My daughter was like 6. She's in college now. We were in Franklin Park shooting that video. Musically, from there, from Dreamcatcher to Comfort Food, the topics change. So it was all, like dreamy. I'm going to chase my dreams. And I still feel that way, of course. Into Comfort Food, where I'm like, I'm folding laundry. I'm going to drink some wine. So I pick these kids up. Like, I write about that. So throughout the course of my writing, and there's a lot of songs, you can see there's like a whole freaky wild period there. If you go find No Filter, don't put some headphones on. So yeah, the evolution is really, really in themes, I think.
How has the Columbus music scene treated you? Because like we've had people say it's treated them good, some people bad. How about you when it comes to like the R&B side of?
Okay, honestly, I have had the experience I created.
Okay.
So I came in day one, like I'm not waiting for anybody to do anything for me. I'm going to learn as many things as I can, whether it's running a camera, if it's how to make a flyer, all the things. So if you're someone who is a doer, not saying that it won't be hard, because it has been, I've had many discouraging times. I've been overlooked for things. Even now, almost 15 years in, there are people who will still overlook me for things. But that's okay, because I create my own spaces, and not just for me, but for other people. So I've probably had one of the most unique experiences here, in that from the beginning, even when I didn't know what I was doing, I was like, I'm going to create spaces for people like me who people may not immediately call, but I'll be the one to make the call and say, do you want to do this? I see that you're doing this. I would love to have you at this. So in that way, it's been a beautiful experience. I'm very outspoken because I am such an advocate for us as artists and people who are creative. And I'll say the things that people don't want to say because they don't want to be blackballed or whatever. I don't care about that. I care about us, So my experience has been what I made it.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of like what you made it, I know that you're like the owner of the Ohio
R&B Music Festival. Yeah, that's crazy. This is year 3. So over the years, I've curated a lot of events. And included people from poets, singers, rappers, everything, but R&B is my obsession. So it was just really a buildup of everything. All of, I would say, my training over the years on what, like what worked, what didn't work. I decided I want to have a festival specifically for R&B. And my thought was, if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
We had the first one 2 years. This will be the third year in October, and I wanted it to be a statewide thing. Maybe one day it'll be regional, but right now, initially, I was like, I want to have Cleveland and Cincinnati and Dayton and Toledo and Canton and whoever in the same room.
Nice.
And we're going to root for each other, and we're going to be fans, and people will get to see artists perform that they really wouldn't have the opportunities to otherwise. And it worked.
Nice. So when it comes to like picking the artists and
Mm-hmm.
giving out the awards, what's that process like?
So I open up submissions. Artists, there's like a submission form that opens up on the website. This year, open up in April. And they just submit like their bio, or if they have a press kit, they can put that, professional photos. Yeah, they tell me what city they rep, because I've gotten people in California, New Orleans, like it's crazy. I don't know how these people find out about it who have submitted, but it's really about Ohio for me. Like people overlook Ohio, even though we're the birthplace of funk.
Yeah.
We created the Isley Brothers, like Levert.
Right.
So, but I always say that the talent didn't stop with John Legend.
Yeah.
Like there's crazy,
Talent,
innovative, vocally like insane, everything you can think of here. But no one's gonna come to Ohio and pluck us.
Yeah.
So
You
I
have
wanted to
do
make
it.
a lot of noise. So that's what we're doing.
And where does the awards take place?
This year and last year, it's going to be at Upfront Performance Space on South Front Street on Saturday, October 3rd. Previous years were multiple days. This year, I'm just decided to do one day. We're just going to have a performance showcase and maybe some other stuff in there. Made some changes with the way the awards are going to roll out, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so Upfront Performance Space, they are sponsoring the space and letting us come in again because we had a good time last year.
Nice. That's definitely something that the city needs. I remember going to the Ohio Hip Hop Awards.
Yes, I performed there one year. They asked me to perform, and I'm like, at the Hip Hop Awards, and they're like, yes, and you'll be the only R&B artist, and I'm like, okay. I think that was like 2014.
Yeah.
It was so fun, and that was inspiring too. Like I always kept that experience in the back of my mind, how well those guys ran it, how much crap people gave them,
Yeah.
like, and now it's gone, guys.
Have you ever had to deal with any of that with your award show yet? Like people being mad that they didn't.
Yes.
How do you deal with the negative feedback?
In the past, so what I would see like last year, it would be more so people tagging artists and being like, oh, I can't believe that you weren't nominated. And then people would, of course, show me. And then the artist is like, hood, like, there's no awards without me. And then what I wanted to say was, well, they didn't nominate you. How are you going to tell somebody they weren't nominated and you saw that they weren't nominated and you didn't nominate them? Because I know you didn't, because I see the things coming in. So it's really hard sometimes to not just hop in there and be like, you want to know what? But for the record, I don't pick the nominees or anything. It is all like fan voted.
Oh, that's
and I
even
just
better.
count the things. It's not me selecting. So don't tag your friends and be like, I can't believe you weren't nominated when you know you didn't put their name in there. Like, so yes, I have had some negativity, mostly positivity. But yes, there's always going to be always. Yeah. If you don't have offered to help, then I don't care. Like, you didn't give me some tips if you could do it.